Good morning, students. Welcome back to your science class. In the previous class, you have learned about the reactivity series, displacement reaction, and an activity. Have you all watched the YouTube class? Did you understand that? Is there any doubt? If you have any doubt, you can ask in the Zoom class. Okay. Now, according to the reactivity series, which one is the most reactive among all the metals? Potassium is the most reactive. Which one is the least reactive? Platinum is the least reactive. Okay. Then what is meant by displacement reaction? If a metal reacts with a salt solution and replaces the metal present in that reaction we can call as displacement reaction. We have seen so many examples. With silver, if it reacts with copper sulfate, there is no reaction because silver is less reactive. So the more reactive metal will replace the less reactive metal present in the salt solution and forms a new compound. So that type of reactions we have we will call as displacement reactions. Then you have seen about the various elements, how they are arranged in the order of their reactivity. They are arranged according to the decreasing order of reactivity. So the list of common metals that are arranged according to the decreasing order of reactivity is called reactivity series. Then we have seen that an activity that shows that iron is more reactive than copper. So everything we have completed. Okay. Now today's class we are going to see about the metals and non-metals and their uses. Okay. What are the uses of metals? Can you say some examples for metals? Okay, silver, iron, then gold, then platinum, etc. Okay, normally when we use in our day-to-day life, a pin to aeroplane is made up of iron, is it not? So if you take a pin, it is made up of iron, and aeroplane parts, mainly machinery parts are made up of aluminum, iron, etc. So everything in our home, many utensils, many machineries, many engines, building materials, everything consists of iron. So first of all, we will see the uses of iron. Iron is one of the most commonly used metal in our day-to-day life. Then, what are the uses of this iron? It is used for making heavy machinery parts. Then, building materials, that is door, window, then furnitures, etc. They are all made up of iron. Then automobile parts, then iron rods, they are used for building purpose. Then if you have in your house gates, windows, doors, then grills, etc. everything is made up of iron. Even in the shipping, containers are also made up of iron. Then iron is also used for making railway tracks. Then nuts, bolts, then nails, pipes and tools. So these are the main uses of iron. So iron is the most commonly used metal. It is used for making heavy machinery parts, building materials, automobiles, then furnitures, gates, windows, doors, grills, then in shipping, in ship containers. Then it is also used for making railway tracks, nuts, bolts, nails, pipes and tools. So these are all about the uses of iron. Now, in iron, if suppose iron is used alone for making furniture, we will say that after so much years or so many weeks, months, it will get rusted. So in order to reduce that rusting, they have found out an alloy called steel. It is an alloy of iron. So iron mixed with other metals. and the steel is very strong and it will not get rusted very soon. So steel is an alloy of iron and it is very strong and it is used for making building materials, nails, screws, etc. So these are all about the uses of iron. Then what about the uses of copper? Mostly our old grandmothers will be keeping some utensils in our home that is made up of copper. Have you ever seen there, ma'am? Yeah. So these copper utensils are used for making cooking in ancient times. But nowadays, we people are not at all using copper vessels or copper utensils. Then, what is the other use of this copper? Copper is used for making electrical wires. So, wiring is done in our homes. Everywhere it is made up of copper covered with plastic material. Even cables are also covered with plastic. So, the wire inside is made up of copper. Coils, pipe fittings, then parts of some of the electrical equipments. Then it is also used for making cooking utensils, then integrated circuits and electromagnets. So these are the uses of copper. Copper is used for making electrical wires, cables, coils, pipe fittings and parts of electrical equipments. It is also used for making cooking utensils, integrated circuits and electromagnets. Now, the next third metal is aluminium. Aluminium also finds a very wide use in our day-to-day life like iron, copper, etc. So first of all, aluminium is used for making parts of machineries in automobiles, then in building materials. That is, in buildings we will use aluminium sheets, then some aluminium doors, aluminium rods, even aluminium window frames are there. So, aluminium is used for making parts of machinery, automobiles, building materials, such example, aluminium sheets, rods, doors and window frames. Then, this is also used for making household utensils. Most of us will use aluminium vessels in our homes. So, it is used for making household utensils. Then, if you want to pack anything in tins and cans and street light poles, we use aluminium. Then, thin sheets of aluminium are used as packing or packaging foils at homes. Okay, so these are the uses of aluminium. So, the first element or first metal is iron. Iron also finds a very wide application in our day-to-day life. Second one copper. The third one is aluminium. Next comes the metal called zinc. What is the primary use of this zinc? See, it is used for coating over iron. The coating of zinc over iron to prevent it from rusting is called galvanization. Zinc is also used with other metals such as aluminium and lead for making alloys. So these are the uses of zinc. So zinc is used for galvanization and zinc is also used for making alloys. Next comes mercury. What is the primary use of this mercury? Mostly we know that mercury is used in thermometers, barometers, etc. So thermometers are used for measuring the temperature and barometer is used for measuring the atmospheric pressure. Okay. The next use of mercury is mercury amalgam is used for dental fillings. So these are the uses of mercury. So what are the uses of mercury? Mercury is used in thermometers and barometers. Mercury is used for making mercury amalgam and it is used in dental fillings. The next one is about lead. Lead is used in car batteries and pigments. Also it is used for making paints. Then the last metals are gold, silver and platinum. Do you know, children, what is the speciality of these metals? they will not react with any metals, or they will not react. So they will not react with water, oxygen, etc. So they are used for making jewelry, and sometimes they are used for making cutlery also. So these are all about the uses of metals. Okay, shall we see about the uses of non-metals? Can you say some examples of non-metals, students? That is carbon, oxygen, sulfur, phosphorus, nitrogen, etc. Okay, first we will see about the uses of carbon. What are the allotropic forms of carbon? What are the other forms of carbon? Carbon exists in 3 different forms: diamond, graphite, and fullerenes. Okay, we will see about one by one. First of all, the first allotropic form of carbon is diamond. This diamond is the most expensive substance on the earth. What is the use of this diamond? It is used for making jewelry. Okay, then why do we use for making jewelry? Because it is very bright and lustrous. The next property of this diamond is it is very hard. Diamond is the hardest substance. So it is used for making or cutting and drilling tools. Okay, so it is used in cutting and drilling tools. So what are the uses of diamond? Diamond is used in jewelry, and it is used for cutting and drilling tools. Now, why is it used for making jewelry? Because it is shiny, very bright luster. Okay, then it is the most expensive substance in the earth, and since due to this property it is used for making jewelry, and since it is very hard, it is used for cutting and drilling tools. Then the next allotropic form of carbon is graphite. What is the use of graphite, children? This graphite is mostly used to make lead of pencils. Okay, now what is the other use of this graphite? Graphite is a good conductor of electricity. It will allow current to pass through that. So it is used for making electrodes in zinc carbon batteries. The third use of this graphite is graphite in the powdered form is used as a lubricant in machine parts. So there are 3 uses of graphite. First, to make lead of pencils. Graphite in the powdered form used as a lubricant for machine parts. Then the third is graphite rods are used in zinc carbon batteries as electrodes. Next non-metal is hydrogen. What are the uses of this hydrogen? First of all, the primary use of hydrogen is it is used in the synthesis of ammonia. So which process is used for synthesizing ammonia? Haber's process. So what are the gases used there? Hydrogen and nitrogen. So hydrogen is primarily used in the synthesis of ammonia. Then it is also used for making methyl alcohol. The second use of this hydrogen is to make welding torches and in the extraction of metals. And as a whole, we can say hydrogen is a non-polluting fuel, but we are not using in our day-to-day life. Why? When it is exposed to air, it will suddenly react and catch fire, and that's why it is not used. Then sulfur. Sulfur is used in the vulcanization of rubber. That is, to harden rubber, sulfur is used. It is also used for the manufacturing of compounds such as sulfuric acid and sulfates. The third use is it is used in the production of matches, dyes, and gunpowder. Sulfur is also used in making fungicides and insecticides. So sulfur is used in vulcanization. It is used for making sulfuric acid and sulfates. Then it is used in the production of matches, dyes, gunpowder, fungicides, and insecticides. The next one is silicon. Silicon is the major component of sand. So, ground sand particles are there. What does it contain? It contains silicon. So, silicon is used extensively in making semiconductors and microchips. The silicon is also used in solar cells and transistors. So, silicon is the major component of sand. It is used extensively for making semiconductors and microchips. It is also used in making solar cells and transistors. What is the other non-metal, children? Next non-metal is phosphorus. Do you know what is the substance present in the matchstick and matchbox? It is phosphorus. So, phosphorus is used in making matchsticks and fireworks. Fireworks means crackers, okay? Then compounds of phosphorus, that is called phosphate, superphosphate, etc. They are all finding very wide application as a fertilizer in agriculture. So, phosphates are used, or phosphorus is used in making fertilizers. So, what are the uses of phosphorus? Phosphorus is used for making matchsticks and fireworks. Compounds of phosphorus called phosphates are used as fertilizers. Then the next non-metal is nitrogen. Nitrogen is used in making ammonia and nitrates. These nitrates are used as fertilizers. Then nitrogen is also used in packaging food items such as chips. Then liquid nitrogen is used for refrigerating cell for medical research. Then the last one is oxygen. Do you know, children, which gas we are inhaling? We are inhaling oxygen from the air. So, oxygen is used for breathing purpose. Also, this oxygen is stored in cylinders and it is used by the mountaineers and deep sea divers, and they use this for breathing purpose, or they use this oxygen cylinders as breathing equipment. Then oxygen is used in the manufacture of steel and other chemicals such as nitric acid and hydrogen peroxide. Oxygen is also used in acetylene, oxyacetylene torches. Oxygen mixed with acetylene we call as oxyacetylene, and this oxyacetylene is used for making oxyacetylene torches, and these torches are used for welding and cutting metals. So, in the beginning we have seen about the uses of metals and non-metals. With that, another concept is there, that is alloy. What is an alloy? If you take iron alone and utilize for machinery parts, it will get rusted or corroded when it is exposed in air or it is put in water. So, they found out, or scientists found out, if you mix the metals, one metal with another metal, they find it is very strong and it will not get corroded or eroded, and it is going for long time. It is durable. So, they found out a substance called alloy. What is meant by alloy? Alloy is a homogeneous mixture of two or more metals, or metal with a non-metal. The examples of alloys are stainless steel. Stainless steel is a mixture of iron, nickel and chromium, and bronze is a mixture of copper and tin, and brass is a mixture of copper and zinc. So, why these alloys are used, or why do we want to learn about these alloys? These alloys are not corroded or not damaged or rusted. That's why we are using these alloys in our day-to-day life. So, what is an alloy? Alloy is a homogeneous mixture of two or more metals, or a metal with a non-metal. Examples of alloys are stainless steel. Stainless steel is a mixture of iron, nickel and chromium. The next example is bronze. Bronze is a mixture of copper and tin. The next one is brass. Brass is a mixture of copper and zinc. So, that's all about this lesson, students. Thank you.